Just a few games left in the regular season, and we are getting set to go here for the first of a 4-game stretch here for the Clinton Prairie Gophers as they take on Clinton Central, the Bulldogs, here in this one inside of Clinton Prairie High School here in Frankfort, Indiana, alongside Sean Walker. I'm Kurt Darling. Sean, good to be with you here tonight as the Gophers and the Bulldogs look to just kind of get through this last stretch of the season before we start sectional play.
Yeah, it's that rivalry game, right? So right at the end of the season, before you get into sectional play, you get to play your biggest rival, and a lot riding on the line tonight. Throw the records out the window. This is for bragging rights.
Indeed it is, of course, as Clinton Prairie has already secured a regular season conference championship in the Hoosier Heartland Conference. So now they are just about bragging rights here tonight. But, of course, it is senior night as well here at Clinton Prairie. Many seniors being honored tonight as they will get one last chance here. Of course, a couple more chances to play here at Clinton Prairie. This is the final, of course, game of the regular season here for seniors, but of course they also host the sectional as well. So needless to say, there's still plenty more chances for them to get some reps here on their home court.
Yeah, and you know, it's a decently tough sectional because you've got the defending state champion Central Catholic that's in there, and so anytime Central Catholic's looming, it's a hurdle you got to try to get over.
Indeed it is. So both teams coming into this contest here, coming off of both a win and a loss here. Clinton Central coming off of a loss to Tri Central. That was in straight sets. Meanwhile, you have Clinton Prairie breezing past Delphi Community. Of course, that's after coming off of a loss to Crawfordsville, but then a very much and hard-earned win over 18th-ranked Rossville. So needless to say, it's been a pretty competitive stretch here for Stacy Swann's crew for the Gophers here coming into this one.
And what's amazing is we covered that game with Rossville, and I thought it was going to be a much closer contest. It was not, but to prove how good Rossville is, they bounced back like 2 nights later. They beat Tipton in straight sets, who was like 20-6 on the season. They went 5 sets last night with Faith Christian and beat them in 5. And so it's such a crazy sport is volleyball, the ups and downs, and just any night could be somebody else's night.
Indeed it can be. And one of these two teams definitely hoping it's their night here tonight, as both teams getting all of their substitutions and starters on the floor as they see fit. Stacy Swann having taken over for the Clinton Prairie Gophers at the start of September, so far has gone 10-7 in that stretch. Meanwhile, Melissa Perry, the head coach for Clinton Central, 8-18 this season, 2-5 in conference play. So it has definitely been somewhat of a tough year for the Bulldogs coming into this one. But for the meantime, it will be the Bulldogs going to be serving up game number 1 here. It'll be Courtney Serber to get things going here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and already tonight I can tell we're going to have a little bit of a struggle because there's a number 8 on the floor for Clinton Central, and there's not one on our roster. So we'll do our best to try to call out the correct names as best we can, but let's have a fun night of volleyball.
And so the opening set is underway here, and the first point going to go to the Bulldogs here on this one, as there's a nice kill there on the opposite side there from Bridget Royer, who is one of the big athletes here for Clinton Central, also a softball player in the springtime.
Yeah, Bridget leads the team in kills with 158 on the season. She's also their best blocker at 116, so look for her to attack and then play well defensively around the net.
Meanwhile, speaking of killing, you have the expert right there in Sydney Swann getting her first kill of the night right there. 370 kills already on the season. That's after she had 500 just a season ago.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal volleyball player all the way around. She really is. She's got over 1,000 career kills and over 1,000 career digs. They honored her with a ball that stated that. She got both of those back in September, and so congratulations on a great career for Sydney.
So all the seniors getting the start tonight here for Clinton Prairie, and there is another big point right there for the Gophers.
The Gophers, if they get out to a hot start, they usually stay that way. It's their slow starts on the season that have kind of been their Achilles heel. If they can get some momentum rolling early, look for them to keep that up.
Caitlin Beck getting that kill on the previous point. 2-1 here for the Gophers.
You want to watch your passing tonight. That's what's going to really be key. If Clinton Central can pass the ball and get into their attacks, they'll have a good chance here against Clinton Prairie, but they can't have some unforced mistakes, and they've got to make sure they play the ball well.
And you like to see that right there. There's Kaylee Wall, a senior who doesn't get a whole lot of playing time here for the Gophers. She gets a kill right there to keep things going here for the Gophers.
Yeah, what a benefit for interim coach Stacy Swann. Has 2 seniors rejoin the squad when she was named the interim coach, and Claire Eckenbarger and Kaylee Wall. And and they've contributed right away where they've come in and provided senior leadership and more depth to this team.
And a net violation here on the Bulldogs gives a free point here to the Gophers.
Gophers up 4-1 already, and you can tell they're just on the attack and want to have a successful senior night here tonight. 7 seniors on this roster, and it's a complete different contrast on the other side, Kurt. Just 2 seniors for Clinton Central.
Then you also have 5 freshmen on the roster as well, but one of those freshmen right there getting a point there for the Bulldogs.
Another look at the replay here, and it starts with the passing. That's a great pass from the back row from Sam Adams, and then right there you get the kill at the front of the net.
That was actually Royer getting her fist on that one.
Here's one of the 2 juniors in Georgia Evans.
Evans putting it in play, and a nice serve right in the middle, but still a net violation again here on Clinton Central. Gives a point back to Clinton Prairie.
There's Claire Eckenbarger tonight. She switches the jersey up on us quite a bit. Looks like she's wearing 13 this evening. It's been 2 at times. I think it's been 11 at times throughout the season. So keeping broadcasters on their toes is the bear.
Right up the middle there goes Caitlin Beck. And now another opportunity here for the Gophers, getting it back over to Wall. Mishandling it again. And Wall is able to get it down there once again. Second point of the night here for her.
Yeah, when Wall came back, it gave him another setter to put on the floor. And she does a great job of that right there and going over quickly and catching Clinton Central unaware.
In fact, ever since coming back, Kaylee Wall has racked up 102 assists.
Good kill there from Clinton Central. Some power on that one again from Royer. You know, last time she kind of went with the dink and just kind of tapped it across. This time she put a little pepper on it.
Already 3 kills now for Bridget Royer, bringing her total to 161 on the year, and now she has the serve.
Okay, here's your attack
and
right
there's
here.
The wind-up and a nice kill from Sydney Swann.
Swann is so good at going down the line. You see another look. It's a great pass right here. That's from Grace Good. And then Swann, you'll see her, if you watch her before she goes up, she examines the floor, and she's looking, where am I going to hit this, even as she's going through that swing.
So here's Julia Stillwell wearing the libero jersey tonight here for the Gophers.
I love that change-up, too. Coach Swann realizing I got 7 seniors, so she put Stillwell back in the libero jersey where she started earlier in the season, and then Haven Wilson has actually been the libero.
And a big block right at the net there by Avery Brooks.
The block, but it lands out of bounds, so point goes over to Clinton Central there.
Sometimes those are just some bad breaks when you get a good block.
Yeah, good position, got both arms up. Avery a little undersized to be playing right there at the front of the net, but her athletic ability makes up for it.
The freshman Carly Davison sends it out of play, giving the serve here back to Clinton Prairie. 8-4 here in the middle of set number 1. Wall puts it in play.
Again, there's just miscommunication there, and it's a young team. You know, even late in the year, anytime that you've got 2 sophomores or 3 sophomores and 5 freshmen on your squad, you're going to have those just hiccups is what I would like to call them.
And before the serve, we have a whistle, and it looks like we have a mid-court violation where one of the players for Clinton Prairie actually stepped underneath the net before the serve was put in play. Meanwhile, that last serve from Kaylee Wall, that goes down as a technical ace, her 8th on the season.
Yeah, so they actually gave Prairie a point there on the violation against Clinton Central.
And make it 2 aces in a row here for Kaylee.
Kind of attacking that back row of Clinton Central right now, realizing that they're struggling to make that first pass to the setter. So serve receive is going to be huge tonight if Clinton Central wants to stay competitive. Here's another look. Man, Kaylee does a great job from the service line. And so not only did they get back a setter, but they got a player who's very gifted from back there as well.
So Clinton Prairie on a nice little rally here. Up top, and the kill goes down there for Brooks.
Got another look here as Clinton Central sends it over. It's a free ball opportunity. Wall makes the pass. They go middle this time, and Brooks right there.
So Kaylee Wall keeping the serve up here and is serving a very good rally. And there's another ace for her. 3 aces on this one rally here for Wall. And a timeout on the floor, a much-needed one here for Clinton Central, excuse me.
Yeah, about 6 or 7 straight points there rattled off. Great job by Kaylee Wall and a good timeout for Coach Perry.
So while we're in the timeout, Healthy Communities of Clinton County Coalition was formed in 2006 as a partnership of healthcare providers, service care providers, educators, and community leaders who were interested in addressing issues of health in the Clinton County community. Now, over 15 years later, the coalition is still committed to making permanent changes by encouraging policy, systems, and environmental changes, with the desire to always make the healthy choice the easy choice. For more information, visit healthyclintoncounty.org. That's healthyclintoncounty.org. Once again, alongside Sean Walker, I'm Kurt Darling here. So, Sean, needless to say, it's been pretty easy thus far here for Clinton Prairie.
It has, and they're the much more talented team this year, so this was kind of to be expected coming in. But you're right, and what you don't want to do in a game like this towards the end of the season is take your foot off the gas. Right, you want to keep working no matter what the score is, and this is for both sides, is just keep working.
With authority, Sydney Swann doing the work.
That was a wind-up. I mean, literally a wind-up right there, and just killed it.
And the serve just hits the back line there for Wall. Let's take a look at this again.
I tell you, she is dropping dimes right now. That right on the line. Perfect call.
That is now 4 aces. She had 7 aces coming into the night. She has 4 right here in this one rally. And just slips that over the net.
I love the change up there. She went long and then comes right back and drops it right over the net.
Here's Swann again, blocked. And again, Clinton Central forced to bail out.
It was a good job by 23 Sam Adams for Central at the net on the block.
And with the tip right there into the campfire. And Prairie keeps it alive. And Swann is dug there in the backcourt.
That was a great diving attempt by Carly Davidson from Clinton Central.
Wall to Swann again. This time she hits. Kill number 3 on the night for the senior.
Yeah, the bad thing is when you keep sending balls over, trying to keep them in play and not attacking yourself. When you have a player like Sydney Swann on the other side of the net, it eventually spells doomsday.
Clinton Central still struggling to get that ever-elusive point here to break this rally from Prairie. Meanwhile, Swann navigating and threading the needle to find the back corner.
She is one of the best flat-footed, there's an L in there, please, Sydney. She is one of the best flat-footed hitters I've ever seen in volleyball. She still gets so much power and unbelievable angles on those hits. That is not easy, ladies and gentlemen.
So Kaylee Wall was robbed of a ball right there to put back in play.
The only person fat-footed right now is me, and I just put it in my own mouth. How about that?
On the changeup there, Avery Brooks gets kill number 2 on the night. Nice quick changeup.
It's really fun tonight that Sydney Swann is letting her seniors play. They've played this entire first game here. We have not seen Abby Swann tonight yet, who's a phenomenal sophomore for these guys. But, yeah, letting the seniors play on senior night is awesome.
Avery Brooks almost puts that into the net. Instead, just slips it over. And Wall goes toe-to-toe at the net. This time she gets the net violation, and that finally snaps a long hot streak here for Clinton Prairie as the Bulldogs will get the serve back.
Yeah, you see some substitutions there in this rotation for Coach Melissa Perry, trying to mix it up and find something that works here tonight. Fight back and get into this lead.
Here's another freshman, Allie Adair, with the serve. Setting up Swann on the opposite side of the net. And she gets it right back here for the Gophers. That's now 5 kills in this one set here for Swann, who will now take the serve for the first time tonight.
You know, tonight may not go Clinton Central's way. Obviously, Clinton Prairie looks like they're pretty well dialed in. But when you have a young squad like this at the end of the year, you take small victories at times. And so sometimes it's just literally got to be point by point. You know, we did great getting that 5th point in that first game, and you got to go back and circle that as your spot to try to build on.
Claire Eckenbarger getting her first kill here this evening. This is a Gophers team that went 23-7 a year ago after going 7-16 the year before that. And now they are kind of right in the middle here, 14-11, but again, looking for some good momentum here going into the postseason. Meanwhile, there is a hard ace served there by the Gophers as there's no return from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they see the serve across here from Clinton Central and a nice diving effort there from Swann, and then Eckenbarger trying to trap it down, but that is Sam Adams back here at the service line doing a nice job.
That's her first ace of the night, her 40th on the season. Meanwhile, Eckenbarger with some steam on that one and wisely lets that one go to get another point here in set number 1.
That's some elevation to it. We could have put a stopwatch to see, when that was going to
put a hang time.
Might bring the rain. We could use it right now. Just not Friday. We got football Friday nights to cover.
Indeed. As Avery Brooks gets an ace right there. Definitely don't want rain on Friday, seeing as how the forecast calls for temperatures in the low 50s, maybe even the upper 40s.
Yeah, I'm excited for this weekend. We got a full slate of games. Frankfort's at North Montgomery. You can catch that. That's one of the local affairs. And then Clinton Prairie fans, we have you on the road against Carroll on Friday night. Kurt, you're on that broadcast, correct?
Indeed I am. It'll be myself and Jim Leisure. You can catch it all right on IHSAA
We'll also have our Mick game of the week. I'm not even sure who that is, to be honest with you, this Friday. But you can tune in and check that one out on MyAndy TV.
Long rally finally snapped there by Clinton Prairie. It was actually tipped over the net. Point to the Gophers.
Yeah, you see, they're just really passing it around tonight and giving everybody an opportunity to play and get a chance to hit. I mean, that set right there went to Grace Good.
And so this will be set point here for Clinton Prairie. Brooks puts it up. And an awkward return here from the Bulldogs. And sealing the deal here in set number 1 is Claire Eckenbarger. Steady as she goes here for the senior. So there you have it. After set number 1, 25-7 goes to set number 1 to the Gophers. Set number 2 coming at you next here on the ISC Sports Network.
Many communities in rural America are often overlooked as underserved. These communities are being left behind due to lack of internet and access to state-of-the-art technology. That's why Mulberry Telecommunications provides rural broadband services and technology, and is growing their presence in North Central Indiana. Because every community deserves infrastructure and beyond. To learn more, contact us today.
Whether in Tipton or Clinton County, Encompass Credit Union, community-minded just like you. At Encompass, personal member service and convenient technology go hand in hand in making your financial experience effortless. Encompass Credit Union takes part in many of the things that make our communities special, keeping your money working right here. Encompass strives to support the local community by sponsoring sports teams, community groups, and school events. Encompass Credit Union in Tipton and Frankfort, community-minded just like you.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable. Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die. Inconceivable. To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99. Inconceivable.
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here.
Welcome back here to Clinton Prairie High School as the Gophers handedly take set number 1 here over Clinton Central here in this IHSAA volleyball match. Alongside Sean Walker, I'm Kurt Darling. Sean, your thoughts on set number 1?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what we expected, honestly. I was hoping Clinton Central put up a little bit more of a fight just because I love this rivalry so much, and we get a chance to talk about it here as we got a break in the action before set 2. If you go back into the 80s, Kurt, and you watch these two teams play, or you even just look at the archives of the records if you're young, this was an absolute dogfight back in the day. I mean, you had 2 Hall of Fame coaches in Connie Garrett and Linda Barnett. Connie at Clinton Prairie, Linda at Clinton Central. There were seasons literally where Linda Barnett went like 27-3, and her 3 losses were to Clinton Prairie during the regular season, during the county tournament, and then would get them in sectional play. And I mean, at one point in time, if you go back and look through the 80s, from 1975 all the way to 87, Clinton Prairie won every sectional. The 2 years that they didn't win it in the 80s at all, it was Clinton Central who won it. And then you get to the early 2000s, and Clinton Central takes over and runs it all the way up to about 2014.
Meanwhile, an opening ace here for Abby Swann, who's into the ball game here for the first time tonight. The younger of the 2 Swann sisters gets the rally going here for Clinton Prairie, but the Gophers let one go right there for the Bulldogs as Bridget Royer gets another kill.
Yeah, great set. Again, when they serve receive well and they get that clean first pass to their setter, Clinton Central can be dangerous.
So back to the top of the rotation here for the Bulldogs as Courtney Serber puts back the ball. Meanwhile, another nice little soft kill there for Haley Wilson.
Yeah, it's a great play there. You're starting to see the underclassmen are on the floor now for Clinton Prairie. Julia Stillwell, no longer the libero. She's wearing the regular jersey. They brought Haven Wilson back into the libero,
which is her regular spot on the roster in the rotation.
Oh, that's great coaching in game 1. Let your seniors play. A lot of them see playing time anyway, and now she's rewarding some of the underclassmen here in game 2.
Trying the soft touch there were the Bulldogs. And it's tipped out of bounds on the block right there, and they're going to say point to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you see the tip. I like the play at the net right there by both teams. And then because of the tip, it gives the point to Clinton Central, ties things up at 2.
It looked like Ali Adair getting the final push on the ball right there to get a point, to get a kill, her first of the night. And now here's Georgia Evans. So knotted up at 2 apiece here early in set number 2. And Swann tries to break that tie, and she does, getting her 6th of the night.
Yeah, another, again, feed Sydney. That's literally they should wear shirts that say feed Sydney. They need to ride her back all the way through sectional play and just keep setting her up and finding different angles for her to hit from.
Haven Wilson serving it up here for the Gophers. Back the other way to get it across again, and the Bulldogs unable to convert.
Yeah, great kill that time from Evie Brooks, the younger of the Brooks sisters. Takes a great angle, and Clinton Central scrambles, but they can't get it across in 3.
Evie Brooks has had 4 kills in the last 2 matches. And pushing it over, out of bounds, back to the Gophers once again.
It's kind of a tough thing to do as a coach, right? When you have 7 seniors on your team, is you're finding playing time for them. There's only 6 that can play on the floor at once. So you get 7, you get a rotation going, but then you can't just play all seniors because then your underclassmen aren't developing. And so I really like the mixture that Stacy Swann's done this year, where she's mixed them in, so next year you don't have, fresh faces. They've actually got some court time.
And a cross-court kill there for Bridget Royer. Again, primarily a softball player for the Bulldogs in the springtime, as the kill attempt goes into the net there for Sydney Swann.
I like the fight early here from the Bulldogs, though. 4-5, they're only down by 1. Need to get some confidence for this young Bulldog team. Hanging with Clinton Prairie in game number 2 could do that for them.
Swann has to bail it out there for the Gophers. Now setting up a strong hit here for Brooks.
Great play. Just keep it in there. Now reset your defense.
Swann winds it up, and it's blocked at the net. A good one there by Chelsea Riddens. And it sails out of play, though, on the return.
Yeah, between Riddens and Sam Adams right there, they're doing a nice job at the net. You're starting to see Clinton Central adapt just a little bit, trying to get over on Sydney Swann when she's on that side of the floor and get in position for the block.
Here's another one of the seniors on the night, Grace Good. A very good server here for the Gophers, 21 aces on the year. And the kill goes to Abby Swann on the other side.
That's not one of Abby Swann's greatest kills that you've seen her get all season long, but this is the benefit to bringing back, you know, a Kaylee Wall and having Grace Good, who was getting some setter time early, because Abby was handling the primary setting duties, and now she gets to attack. It gave Clinton Prairie another option on offense, and it's really changed the dynamic of this team.
And here's a nice little tip for the Gophers, rather the Bulldogs, to get a point.
Yeah, Sam Adams there with the left hand, just kind of rolling around and punching it across. And anytime that you can hit a ball on the other side of the net that falls on the court inbounds, it is a great play.
Kaylee Davison looking for her 33rd ace on the year, does not get it. Puts that out of bounds, and Sydney Swann will come back in here for the serving duties. And you mentioned Abby Swann looking to attack more. Even before she was attacking, though, she racked up 318 assists already on the year. That's all setting duties.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at her numbers, it's phenomenal. She is second on the team in kills, right? She's first in aces, second in digs, and first in assists. And so that's your sophomore. You got 2 more years of Abby Swann, and what's cool is she's gotten to do a little bit of everything on the floor, so she's developing a well-rounded game. That's definitely going to benefit these Gophers.
Sydney Swann serving it up here a little bit now. And she's got back-to-back aces here for the Gophers. Sydney Swann also has reached over 1,000 career kills. Granted, she had half of that just last year. And then already 370 coming into tonight.
I tell you, sometimes when she sends that serve across the net, it looks like a duck that's been shot out of the air. It just dies.
And it does exactly what it needs to be doing, as a timeout taken again here by Clinton Central. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Ardente Dental, where the team of professional smile makers dedicated to leading the community to optimal health. Strengthen your smile and improve your confidence today by contacting Ardente Dental at 765-654-7222 or visiting ardentedental.com.
That's where healthy smiles start, Kurt, and there's some healthy smiles for the Clinton Prairie Gophers tonight. They're having a nice showing here on senior night.
Of course, the senior serving it right now, Sydney Swann, who takes part in Science Club, also Student Council, coach kids, and also track, basketball, volleyball, and also Battle of the Books as well. Needless to say, she does a whole lot besides play volleyball.
She's planning to play volleyball somewhere in college, but she has yet to make that decision. Kind of interested to see where she might end up.
She's certainly a very highly sought-after recruit, especially the way she hits the ball. It also helps when your mom is Stacy Swann.
Yeah. Former college volleyball player herself. Was coaching Purdue juniors before, being an assistant here and getting the interim job after Lindsey Charles left the program.
The serve here for the Bulldogs. Trying to put it away. And a very awkward but successful dig there for the Bulldogs after a hard hit there from Abby Swann. Here's an opportunity for the Gophers. Swann puts it right in the center of the court and gets her second kill of the night.
Yeah, again, watching this here, just watch the read. And what I think has been part of Prairie's growth this year is you've seen setting and hitting all around the floor from really everybody. I mean, that last set came from Avery Brooks. She's not a setter, but she put it perfectly where it needed to be for Abby to go up and get the kill.
Meanwhile, Sam Adams turns an awkward dig from the Gophers into a point here for the Bulldogs. So Clinton Central playing a little more tidy here, but service errors like that certainly aren't going to help your case.
No, and Sam usually really good from the service line. We saw her earlier in this game here in rotation do a nice job from the service line. Just put a little too much on that one. You know, for her and Royer, they've really had nice senior seasons for Clinton Central. They just have a really young team, and every once in a while you have this turnover, and that's where Clinton Central finds themselves right now. This is a rebuilding year, a development year, and, you know, they're playing 5 freshmen. They're going to be better for it in the long run, but you're going to have your bumps and your hills and valleys to climb this season.
Kill for Haley Wilson, her second of the night. Clinton Central, they used to have a very successful program for a long time. In fact, they've won several sectional titles, but they have not won a postseason title of any kind since 2014 when they went 22-10.
Yeah, and then just a little bit of a struggle, but they're rebuilding. They're going to be okay. This is a team, again, I talked about their tradition earlier, where literally from 2000 to 05, they won sectional every year. Then they came back, won in 07, 08, took 09 off, won in 10, took off 11, won 12, 13, and 14. So they're not that far removed from having a really good program. Just got to put it together here.
The return goes out of play there, giving a point back here to the Gophers. So Abby Swann, a prolific server here for Clinton Prairie, 61 aces on the year. And here's an opportunity again for Clinton Prairie. On the short set, a little too short there for Caitlin Beck.
I like the idea from Abby, though. She's been setting her sister a lot tonight and use that opportunity to try to go middle, not allow the blocks get set up, and just unfortunately a little bit low of a pass. Beck couldn't handle it.
Serber putting it back in play for the Bulldogs.
It was a great block by Royer at the net.
Swann from the backcourt. Nothing doing there. Royer tries to slip it over, and a nice little tip-in put-down there from the senior.
Yeah, this is great position right here. Royer got a great block on Beck. Beck kind of returns the favor, gets in good position there, and causes the miss hit.
Stillwell back into serve here for the Gophers. Big wind-up and a big block at the net.
I'm liking that matchup in the middle between Beck and Royer. They're kind of going back and forth, getting blocks for each squad.
So Beck getting the credit for the block there with a little bit of help as we get another substitution for the Bulldogs. Georgia Evans coming back into serve, already has 6 aces on the year, but leads the team in assists, 173 on the year. Here's Swann, finds the open part of the court.
You know, and part of that development, you talk about the assist from Georgia Evans being one of the setters, but tonight we're not really seeing her in that role completely. You're seeing number 9, Allie Adair, out there as well, developing the freshman in that role here. Now, obviously right here you've got Evans in the setter position.
Brooks tries to put it right there on Royer. And back and forth we go, setting up the kill attempt over on the other side here for the Gophers, and it's true. That's Evie Brooks.
Yeah, Haven Wilson's one of my favorite players here in the county because of her all-out effort. You will see her at times just lay out, sacrifice body completely from that libero position.
And there is that big wind-up from Sydney Swann that is just so deadly even if you get a hand on that.
Yeah, she's got power. I mean, that's all there is to it. She's obviously having mom who played college volleyball and growing up playing travel ball herself. She's been well developed, and I mean, you just can't say enough good things about her when you cover Swann, either of them, Sydney or Abby, on the floor. They stand out.
So a timeout on the floor here taken by Clinton Central here. That's another kill for Sydney Swann.
You know, let's take an opportunity to pick on one of our seniors tonight.
It is senior night after all.
Friend of the program, Justin Eckenbarger, his daughter Claire is a senior tonight, and they did these really cool posters for him, and there is Claire holding hers with what we can only say is one of the greatest poses I've seen on one of the seniors We call her Polar Bear affectionately around here, class of 2023. So congrats to all the seniors tonight. But we really enjoyed her poster. When Dad showed me that, I said we've got to work that into the broadcast.
Well, consider it done. I love it. So here's Wilson serving up senior night still here, and another block at the net by Sydney Swann. And she has a little bit of help as well.
Yeah, you see the pass here, tries to go behind her. You get a roll shot, and Swann is in perfect position right there for that block.
That's her first block of the night. And the return too long there from the Bulldogs as Davison hits that a little too hard.
You know what's crazy is you said she had help on that, and then you look and you find out who that player is. It's Avery Brooks. Avery can't be taller than 5'6", but she definitely, it's not for a lack of effort. She plays hard.
And so that goes down as her third block all season long. Few and far between, but they happen. Meanwhile, the serve goes out of play there for Wilson, giving it back to the Bulldogs, and that's a hard serve. And a nice one there from Bridget Royer.
Yeah, you see the senior leader right here. Unfortunately, in a season like this, you can't duplicate her 5 more times and have 6 of her out on the floor, you know, but she's one that, again, for Clinton Central, you can't love on her enough. She's had a great career here at Clinton Central. She's having a nice senior season.
Here's Swann with the backcourt kill attempt. Well dug there, and still no one to come back and give support there for Abby Swann. And the Bulldogs are on a little bit of a streak here.
Yeah, Clinton Central says, hey, don't count us out just yet. We got Royer on the service line. We're starting to roll a little bit here.
Royer with a change-up on the serve. Swann to Swann to Swann.
Yeah, that's been the bread and butter all season long right here, is just one Swann to another, back, set Sydney up, and that's usually when you see the other team rattle off a few points, there's no doubt where that pass is going to go.
Grace Good checking back in here for Clinton Prairie as serving set point here in set number 2. And Sam Adams puts that right into the net, giving set number 2 to the Gophers. As we go to set number 3 at the other end of this quick timeout. You're watching IHSAA Volleyball here on the ISC Sports Network.
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds. Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it. Oh! You get a layup to take it. And an and one.
Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there is now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for more information or to schedule an appointment.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going
before.
to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
Getting set for set number 3 here at Clinton Prairie High School on the ISC Sports Network alongside Sean Walker. I'm Kurt Darling. Sean, right now it has been all Gophers here in this one. Only have the Gophers given up just about 18, 19 points right there. I can't do math quite right there since I'm a comm major from Indiana State. But needless to say, though, it's been solid play here so far from the Gophers.
It really has. And they've come out. They have not taken their foot off the accelerator. It's been all gas, no brakes from the Gophers tonight. That's a moniker I'm going to steal from Lafayette Jeff's football program. But, you know, kudos to them. They're really looking like a fine-tuned machine getting ready to head into sectionals here. And that's not to dog on Clinton Central, no pun intended. This is a team that they're really young. I mean, really, really young. And so we've said it before, when you have a young team, you're going to have those hills and valleys. Now, what I see from Clinton Central that is encouraging is you've got an entire team over there they're still fighting. They're still vested. When coach is talking during those timeouts, all eyes are on her. It doesn't look like anybody's given up. And that's how you know you're still having a successful season in a rebuilding year.
Of course, Clinton Central has the privilege of playing 8th-ranked Faith Christian in the Rossville sectional to open sectional play. That is a tough, tough draw for them. Meanwhile, Clinton Prairie, they get a bye. They get a day off there before they get to see who they will be playing going forward in sectional play.
Yeah, for the Gophers, again, a tough little sectional there with Central Catholic, defending state champion there. And I know Central Catholic's record is not necessarily stand out on the year, but they play such a tough schedule that it's hard to really get a barometer on them, through the season. Once you see them in person and they're playing in their own class, they pass the eye test, I promise.
Clinton Prairie has won 4 of their last 5 matches coming into this one. Certainly some good momentum being built up for the Gophers going into postseason play.
For the Gophers, too, this is the most, not this year, but this sport, volleyball, is the most storied program in the history of Clinton Prairie. They have 3 state titles under Coach Connie Garrett. And, I mean, not only that, she gave them state titles of basketball as well. I mean, the girls' sports at Clinton Prairie have been the story all these years. They haven't had a ton of success in the boys' sports. I don't know if they've ever won a sectional in football. The last time basketball did it was in the 80s, early 80s.
As we get a big ace here from Abby Swann. That'll be her 62nd ace on the year. And on that note, Sean, the Gophers have won 25 sectional titles in their history, which is 12th all-time in IHSAA volleyball history. 25 sectionals. You mentioned the 3 state championships.
Yeah, and one of those state titles was in '84. There was no class sports in '84.
That was single-class volleyball back in the day.
So, I mean, absolutely unbelievable what Connie Garrett used to do with this program. And again, if it wasn't for Coach Connie Garrett and the Clinton Prairie Gophers volleyball team, you would have had probably some really deep runs from Clinton Central back in the day. That's just how good Clinton County volleyball was between these 2 schools.
Certainly a small little breadbasket of volleyball play here in the state of Indiana.
And tonight may be all Clinton Prairie, but if you look at the last 11 matches, it's 5 wins for Clinton Central and 6 for Prairie. I mean, that's pretty darn even.
Just goes to show you that this has been a rivalry matchup going back through the years. As we see a couple substitutions here, Georgia Evans coming back in for the Bulldogs.
And it's been ebbs and flows lately, too, because Clinton Prairie's won 5 straight matches against Clinton Central. If you take those away, then Clinton Central's 5-1 against Clinton Prairie. You know what I mean? You just have to go back into the mid-2000s to see where Clinton Central was dominant against this Clinton Prairie squad.
The officials for tonight's match, Kim Borgman as well as Greg Weller, doing a fantastic job again. The IHSAA always in need of officials to officiate these games for our student athletes. Here's Stillwell back into the ball game to serve it up. And instead it'll be 4 hits here on the Bulldogs and another ace here for Stillwell as a timeout taken here on the floor, as it's 6-1 here in set number 3 for Clinton Prairie. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Mulberry Telecommunications, who currently offers service in Mulberry, Dayton, rural Lafayette, rural Frankfort, and other communities in Clinton and Tippecanoe County. Fiber internet packages also start at just $49.99 per month. For more information, visit mintel.net. Mulberry Telecommunications. It's the best gig in town.
Getting ready to have a big push up in Carroll County as well, so Flora Bringhurst bringing fiber your way. We can't wait. We've got a new facility that's going to be built in Flora. It's been delayed a little bit. The land that was bought was zoned differently and had to go through that. And obviously COVID has led to a lot of things being back ordered and backed up, and business is booming. So we get the new building up. We'll be able to serve those folks in Flora and Bringhurst. We're excited about it.
Certainly a good problem to have to build another facility. So out of the timeout here, Stillwell going to keep things going for the Gophers. And on the reverse set there, Royer kind of gets an awkward hit on it. Gives an opening here for Clinton Prairie.
Job in the back row, just kind of keeping that one alive. That was one of those in-between balls, and they're tough when they're coming right at your face. You just got to kind of put your hands in front of your face. And how do you make that pass? I mean, period. You're just –
It's
I
simple.
would be trying to stave off bruising and black eyes.
It's simple. Swann on Swann action right there. When your two sisters growing up playing the sport in your backyard, I think they learn a thing or two about each other. Not to mention with their mom coaching them on the floor as well. You have a Swann trifecta for the Clinton Prairie Gophers. Swann serving her sister again. This time has to let that one go.
I like that idea from Georgia Evans right there, trying to set it quickly on two. See if she could catch the Gophers sleeping, but they were ready.
And there is, I believe, Katie Marasinko getting her first kill of the night.
Yeah, well, Katie Marasinko, she's fun to watch, too. She's got great height for this Gopher squad.
And an ace here for the Gophers.
Just a junior this year is Katie. She'll get probably a lot more playing time next season, especially given her height.
And that's something to talk about here for the Gophers, because even though you're graduating Sydney Swann, you're basically moving Abby Swann into the role that Sydney had, and then just kind of moving some other things around. You still have some excellent talent coming back next year.
Yeah, and you never know who's going to develop over the summer that may have been a JV player primarily this year, but goes out, puts in the effort, the work, and has a nice summer and works their way into the starting lineup next year. But you definitely have some pieces returning. It's not going to be a complete rebuild year for the Gophers, even though they have 7 seniors vacating at the end of the year.
Bulldogs can't quite get the return going. Meanwhile, there's lots of youth here for the Clinton Central squad, as we've mentioned all night long. 5 freshmen on this team, 2 seniors. Meanwhile, you have a sophomore and a junior. That is the extent of the roster for Clinton Central.
And the same thing can be said. You have 5 freshmen on this varsity squad tonight, but you never know who's in 8th grade that's coming up that's going to be a freshman next year that could potentially – get into this equation, and now those 5 freshmen are sophomores, and you start to build a really good young team. And that's how you get those dynasties in high school, when you can get young players, a lot of playing time early, they gel on the court together, and then you go on a run.
That's going to be a lifting violation on the Gophers, giving a point back to the Bulldogs. Meanwhile, Bridget Royer continuing to serve here for Clinton Central. She's one of the best hitters on the softball team in the spring. She batted .444 last season, had 7 home runs.
Wow. So not just dominant on the volleyball court, but dominant on the softball diamond as well.
Well, and speaking of dominance on the softball diamond, for Clinton Central, Courtney Serber, a junior for the Bulldogs, did her better. She batted .500 on the year with 6 home runs.
Wow. How about that? I mean, those are like some, I'm going to say RBI baseball, but like Major League Baseball, the show type numbers, right?
Definitely some good athletes here for Clinton Central to work with. Of course, most of these athletes, 2-sport athletes.
Some 3.
And some 3, like, of course, Sydney Swann for Clinton Prairie, who gets another kill right there.
Yeah, and these smaller schools like this, you see these athletes, Sam Adams, the Bridget Royer, a lot of these players, they're going to play volleyball, they're going to play basketball, and when it gets around the spring, it's either softball or track usually.
And you mentioned Sam Adams, actually, for Clinton Central, as Swann winds up for another kill right there. But Sam Adams, she actually holds the school record in pole vault in track and field, and she is also a 2-time state free throw champion. So some very well-rounded young ladies playing here tonight.
I want to give a shout-out to Sam Adams' mom, Dr. Stafford. She is the one that helps me with my vision problems. She's my eye doctor, so hooks me up with my lenses, keeps me looking fresh.
And certainly helps you see competitive plays like that from Sydney Swann.
Every year I get older and I keep trying to go in and find the most stylish glasses I can. I'm pretty sure I've had these for a hot minute, though. I think I need to get some new ones.
That's now 13 kills on the night for Sydney Swann. And looking for an ace on the serve there from Haven Wilson. Just goes a little far and out of play.
Yeah, wide of the court, good idea. She could have dropped that in on the line right there. It would have been obviously a point for the Gophers, but just a little wide of the court.
And so here is Ali Adair, who has played the role of setter here tonight. 123 assists, second on the team coming into tonight.
Yeah, she's been splitting those duties with Georgia Evans. And
looks like we get another switch up to Georgia Evans.
And that's why. So you bring Adair in because you've got Evans on the service line here. Now they've got their rotation set right.
And a long serve out of play. Certainly not what you want right there if you're Melissa Perry at this juncture. And now once again, we see Kaylee Wall check back into the ball game. She had an excellent rally in set number 1. In fact, I think she accounted for at least 15 points.
Yeah, Kaylee went on a run. And again, just it's a great addition. I mean, it really is. So, you know, Stacy Swann takes over. She gets 2 experienced players back with a ton of court time. And Clinton Prairie really, if you look at their record, it's not necessarily astounding, right? But what I love about what Stacy did is she took some time to figure out what her lineups were going to be, her rotations were going to be, and you saw the Gophers struggle at times through it. But she was trying to see who's going to play where's the best fit, and now she's got it, and you're starting to see that pay off here at the end of the season when it matters the most.
Again, Coach Swann has gone 10-7 since taking over right at the beginning of September here for this Clinton Prairie squad. And there's another point accounted by Abby Swann, the younger of the Swann sisters.
Yeah, you see here trying to go up and get the kill at the net, and Swann met her there and was able to tap it back.
Another good serve there from Wall. Followed up by a good block at the net by Swann. And Wall sets up Swann again. And you just cannot get anything underneath that awkward dig attempt there by Serber.
Swann's shown you a little bit of everything in her repertoire tonight. She's hit at different angles. She's hit flat-footed. She's had jump. I mean, she's gotten some real good height and hit with power. She's tipped it across. She just keeps you guessing, and that's what makes her such a great volleyball player.
There's a good cross-court kill by Abby Swann.
And then little sister says, hey, anything you can do, I can do better. And she comes flying and shows off her athletic ability. Not as tall as her older sister, but again, the jumping ability allows her to play above the net.
Abby Swann, only a sophomore, going to be here for 2 more years. And there's a block at the net by the younger Swann as well.
At 19-5, this is very similar. That's one of the scores that we had in game number 1 before Prairie went on to close that one out.
And once again, Kaylee Wall serving a pretty good rally right here for the Gophers.
Yes, really is.
Wall had 4 aces in that opening set.
I love that effort from Clinton Central there just to keep it alive. It was a tough play, a tough pass, and good job at the net to at least get it over and keep it alive momentarily.
Another kill for Sydney Swann. As Clinton Prairie looking to close this thing out here quickly, as that goes down as ace number 5 on the night for Kaylee Wall. That is a heck of a stat, especially when you're a player who's only played 26 sets coming into tonight.
Yeah, it didn't take long to dust the rust off, did it? And, you know, it says a lot. I mean, that's got to be a huge compliment to Coach Stacy Swann. As soon as she was named the interim coach, again, not to beat a dead horse, but had 2 players from last year's squad say, we want to play. Will you accept us in? Will you have us? And it was like open arms, come in, get your practices in. They played by the rules, and now it's paying off here at the end of the year.
So just 3 more points to close this thing out, and Sydney Swann gets one of them.
Another thing that I love, too, is it affected rotations and playing time for some of the other younger players that were getting to play. It changed some positions for a few people. But guess what? Your team's better for it. And so that's huge. And I love how everybody's bought in. Nobody's being selfish. When they're asked to go in and play, they play hard. If you ask me, Clinton Prairie's got to find a way to keep Stacy on board.
Absolutely. As we get to set point here, actually it's going to be match point for Clinton Prairie. And who else could be serving? Kaylee Wall. Going to try and put this one away here for the Gophers.
To me, if I'm athletic director Coach Peckinpah, it's an easy conversation. You're going to be at every game anyway because Abby's going to be playing the next 2 years. So you might as well just do it from the sidelines and give us some coaching time.
And right? There you have it as Sydney Swann gets the game-sealing kill for the Gophers right there. That kill brought to you by Defining Looks Wig, Hair, and Nail Salon. At Defining Looks, we know that shopping for a wig can be intimidating. We strive to make your experience fabulous and ensure that you receive the best quality service available. For more information, visit defininglooks.com. Defining Looks, be your own kind of beautiful. So there you have it, a straight set victory here tonight for Clinton Prairie over Clinton Central, as they get set to take on Daleville to open a season-ending tournament before we start sectional play. Sean Walker, it should be a good stretch here for the Gophers.
It really should. Kudos to them. They're looking great at the right time of year, and that's what you want to do. If you're Clinton Central, man, just stay the course. You're young. You're going to be good. You'll be better for it next year. Just keep playing hard for Coach.
Sean, it's been a pleasure working with you tonight, my friend.
You as well, man.
Definitely. As final score once again, 3-0. Clinton Prairie knocking off Clinton Central here in this one. For our studio engineer, Pete Gashow, for Sean Walker, I'm Kurt Darling, saying so long till next time. You've been watching IHSAA Volleyball on the ISC Sports Network. So long, everybody.